Today we'll be talking about some comments from Drew McIntyre and the latest on Bayley addressing her status. Let's get into it with these comments from Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is on top of the WWE right now, but it's been a long journey to get where he's at today. Drew McIntyre first arrived in WWE during his very early 20s and was advertised as the future of WWE and their next major star. McIntyre started off extremely well with an Intercontinental title win, but things quickly went off the rails and got shaky real fast for him. We went from this intimidating young talent to a comedic relief character in 3MB, and once there was nothing for him to do after his run as a comedic character, WWE ended up firing and releasing Drew McIntyre. A lot of superstars would probably quit right there and give up, but McIntyre never did. He kept fighting, kept competing all over the world until he caught WWE's attention again and was brought back to NXT. He became NXT World Champion, had a lot of classic matches during that title reign, and was eventually called up to the main roster again for his second run with WWE. WWE finally books Drew McIntyre the proper way, and he ends up dethroning Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship in the main event of WrestleMania. So Drew McIntyre has had quite the amazing WWE journey to get to this point right now. He will be competing again for the WWE title at WrestleMania for the second year in a row, so that's another accomplishment there for him. Drew McIntyre was recently interviewed by WWE on BT Sport, and he talked about retirement, passing the torch to younger talent, and possibly joining the police force when he's done with wrestling. He had this to say when asked about passing the torch. "Oh, that's a tough one. I'd say someone like I've got so much history with, like Sheamus, but he's like 500 years older than me, so he's gonna retire way before me. Maybe I'd like to have his last match. Maybe somebody younger, like an up-and-comer. Maybe somebody from the UK, like Pete Dunne or somebody. Somebody who's young enough, somebody I could pass the torch to when the decade finally comes. I'm just gonna go forever. I'll be wrestling when I'm 70. I've not done anything else since I was 15. I've got a degree in criminology. I should start applying for the police force." So a couple of reveals there to take in from Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre will be 36 this June, but telling by his comments here, retirement is nowhere even near his mind right now. He wants to keep going for as long as he can, and it's something that Charlotte just mentioned in her statement from a few weeks ago. It's becoming more normal to see wrestlers well into their 50s. We see it all the time with stars that are right around this age. Guys like Undertaker, Edge, Triple H, Chris Jericho, Goldberg, and so many more. It's becoming normal to see superstars wrestle into their mid-50s. So if this continues to be the case, then Drew McIntyre could realistically have another 15 to 20 years left in the ring. McIntyre, of course, mentioned that he does want to pass the torch to a younger talent, like Pete Dunne when the time comes. That's a great dream matchup right there, and if anyone's going to be able to take that torch and run with it, it'll definitely be someone like Pete Dunne. Drew McIntyre also commented on putting his degree in criminology to good use and joining the police force. So could that be the next career path for Drew after he's done wrestling? Anything's a possibility. But what are your thoughts on what Drew McIntyre had to say? Bayley, one of the biggest superstars on the roster and one of the superstars that has helped carry WWE through 2020, is suddenly nowhere to be found at all in WWE. Fans feared that WWE would do nothing with Bayley after she left the title picture, and that's been the case for sure. Since wrapping up her feud with Sasha Banks, Bayley hasn't done anything significant at all. They had Bayley and Bianca Belair in a small feud earlier this year, which saw the debut of Bayley's Ding Dong Hello show and other segments like the obstacle course on Smackdown. But since closing that small feud with Bianca Belair, Bayley has fallen off the face of Earth and hasn't been seen in forever. WWE tried keeping her on TV by bringing back her talk show a few times, and even having a backstage segment where Bayley was reading some tweets from the fans. But they eventually gave up, and she hasn't been seen since. To really put this into better perspective, musician Bad Bunny and social media influencer Logan Paul have both been confirmed roles for WrestleMania, while WWE superstar Bayley has nothing at all to do with WrestleMania this year. Bayley has even joked about it in interviews, saying that taking her Christmas tree down in April was probably going to be her mania moment this year. And even though she was joking, it's still quite sad to think about. How is it possible there's nothing at all for a fully healthy Bayley to do at WrestleMania or even Smackdown? Bayley trends every week after Smackdown, even when she's not on the show, because fans just keep wondering what's going on with her. While Bayley has now responded to those asking about her WrestleMania status and saying that they miss her, Bayley responded in character to those fans on Twitter. She had this to say: "Dear virtual meet and greeters, if any one of you sheep say that you miss me, I will hang up on you and keep all of your money." So she's obviously just saying that in character, but it brings up another point. Bayley, who's currently not scheduled for WrestleMania, has had all of her virtual meet and greets sell out for WrestleMania week. Just another way to really show how much star power she truly has, and that she's not even on the WrestleMania card, but her virtual meet and greets sold out within minutes for WrestleMania week. It's very unfortunate that if you're not in the title picture in the women's division, you're lost in the shuffle until you find your way back into the title picture, because non-title feuds do not exist in the main roster for the WWE women's division. It's clearly not something writers care about or pay any mind to. Like everyone knows, it's not a talent issue, especially with someone as gifted and talented as Bayley. It's a creative issue where they just don't know what to do with the women outside of the title picture. So what's next for Bayley? Well, unless she's coming back into the title picture, no one really knows what's next for Bayley or when she'll be used again because of this issue with the women's division. Like many fans have pointed out, it feels like this year's WrestleMania should have been hosted by someone like Bayley. If they didn't have a match for her, at least the role of WrestleMania host would have been a big gig for her. But since WWE thrives off that nostalgia, they go with Hulk Hogan, which is cool, but it just feels like Bayley or Billie Kay could have done something special with that entire WrestleMania hosting gig. Like WWE did with Alexa Bliss in 2019, there was no match for Alexa in WrestleMania 35, but to still use her star power, they made her the WrestleMania host. So you can ask yourself why something similar wasn't done with Bayley. No one knows what's going on there, but that was Bayley's character sort of acknowledging her disappearance from Smackdown. Like we were talking about the other day with Carmella's faction, there's a lot of women outside of the title picture not being used, so why not put them together or put them against each other? Maybe something like a Carmella versus Bayley feud. They have a rich history of being best friends, so a non-title feud could work. But disclaimer, that's only if WWE is truly invested and interested in writing that feud. Because if they don't really care and give a retribution sort of treatment, then of course it's not worth it and it won't go anywhere. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.